So now I've proven to you that the reason us men of the Lord have brought this truth out is to expose who the devil is, to bring us back to our true nationality, to let us Israelites know that we are the chosen people of the Most High. We are the true Hebrew Israelites. But I've brought out today, I wanted to bring out the lesson of the devil, that the white man is the devil, and that the serpent that is spoken about in this Bible, all throughout the Bible, it just represents a man, or it just represents the spirit of a man. Because, like I said, the serpent, it's crafty, it's deceiving. You don't know when it's going to attack. That's just how the so-called white man is. That's how Cain was. He tried to talk to his brother. He was going to pretend to talk to his brother, but really he was thinking the whole entire time he was about to kill him. And that's what he did. And when you notice all the characteristics of Cain from the serpent, all those characteristics fit the so-called white man today. I proved to you that Edom, Idumea, Esau, they're all the same people. Esau is Idumea, Edom, Seir. Seir is the land that they're from. And right there, when I was reading to you that Esau despised his birthright, it proves to you right there that he played out the same character. Cain and Abel are Jacob and Esau reincarnated, reborn. Rebirth means, or not reincarnation. Reincarnation is just a rebirth. Reincarnation just means again, back again, and that's what happened. Because if you read in Romans and Malachi, it speaks about how the Most High hates Jacob, or hates Esau and loves Jacob. Why? Because he already knows that Esau and Jacob are Cain and Abel. Cain was a murderer from the beginning. Jacob was a righteous man. But now I'm going to describe to you that mark that Cain or that Esau was given, because he was a light pink. He was more of a light pink, white colored man. He was a bright white man. I say so-called white because that's what they call him by. They call you so-called blacks, so-called Negroes, but that's not your name. So-called white, if you're white, you're going to be white like these pages. That's not the color of the so-called white man. A Negro is considered black, but he's not black. He's a dark shade of brown, like the Most High's son, Yahushua. A dark shade of brown. Well, now I'm going to give you some examples about leprosy, and how that curse of leprosy is that same mark that was put on Esau because of Cain coming back into Esau. And that the spirit of Cain with that murderer, who is that serpent, that spirit of that serpent, that from the beginning, that devil, it all falls into being Esau, the so-called white man. But we do have Israelites out there who have the spirit of Edomite, because now you cannot tell who, or you can't just automatically say he's an Israelite because he matches the skin description, because the so-called white man at one point came along and raped all our women and intermarried with each other. So now we have to test them, though. We have to test them through these scriptures, because you can tell by the spirit of which one's an Israelite and which one's not, which one's going to be a devil and a demon, or which one's going to listen and hearken to the word. But I'm going to go in and give you some examples about leprosy, the color, about how it's that mark that was put on Cain and Esau. It was put on Cain, but it was revealed in his rebirth through Esau. I'm going to get Leviticus chapter 13 verse 1. This is Leviticus chapter 13 verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab, or bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priests. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of the flesh, it is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. I'm going to jump down to verse 7. But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he had been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. And if the priest see that, behold, the scab spreadeth in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprosy. And leprosy is that curse that's put on Esau. But also it's a curse to us Israelites when we go off. It's a plague. But leprosy, what leprosy is when your skin turns a light whitish pink color. I'm going to go to verse 11. It is an old leprosy. It is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh, and the priest shall not pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. Which Esau is, but Esau is more of a pure leprosy. I'm gonna go to verse 24. 13 verse 24. Or if there be any flesh in the skin whereof there is a hot burning, and the quick flesh that burneth have a bright white spot, somewhat reddish or white, then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair and the bright spot be turned white, and it be in sight deeper than the skin, it is a leprosy broken out of the burning. Wherefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy. So right there too, that proves blonde hair. Blonde hair is a leprosy. I'm going to go down to verse 30. I'm going to go to verse 29. If a man or a woman have a plague upon the head or the beard, then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry skull, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. So right there it proves to you the so-called white man is the only people in the world who have blonde hair, who can have blonde hair. It's an unclean leprosy. That's a mark to identify Cain, to not take vengeance on him, to not kill him, so you won't receive a great punishment, a severe punishment. This is hold on, let me get it. This is Numbers. I'm gonna go to the book of Numbers, chapter 12, verse 7 through 10. This is the story about Moses and Miriam and Aaron, and this is the time Moses was a judge. Moses was like a god to the people at the time, but also he was a judge for the Most High. And if any man came against them, they were always repaid. But this is Numbers chapter 12, verse 7. My servant Moses is not so, because Aaron and Miriam, they came to Moses, and Miriam ended up saying something against Moses. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude, well, right there too, it even says that the Lord spake in parables, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. Same description that's given to the so-called white man. She became white and leprous, and that's the color that they are today, the so-called white people. This is I'm going to continue. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb. So she looked like she was already dead. That's what the color they look like. When you die, you become pale, like a so-called white man. It's the same color they become, right? But that's pretty much it about the devil. I brought out to you about how we reveal, how I was able to expose him because we're now in that time where he's being revealed. Who's coming is after the working of Satan. So we know that he works with the left-hand side of the spirits. We know that Esau is that devil, that serpent, that spirit of the serpent that's played out in him. And we know that through the curses of Cain and the curse that came upon the serpent in Israel, that they're all the same thing. It's all the same people. Cain is Esau rebirthed or reincarnated. Jacob is Israel. And they have enmity between each other to this day. We're under Esau's captivity right now for the curse. But Idumea, Esau, they're all the same people. It's Esau. Edom, Edomites, and they're the true devil of the Bible today, or that the Bible speaks of. But I'm gonna go to John chapter 8 verse 43, or John chapter 8 verse 43. This is John 8 and 43. Why do you not understand my speech, even because you cannot hear my word? Because it's not, the so-called white man is not going to know this word. I mean, the higher ups, they know this truth, and they know that their time has come. But this is not for everybody. This is only for the saints, the prophets, and only by them is this truth really going to come out. Verse 44, ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father you will do. Because the devil was Cain, and the seed that was going to be put with enmity between the woman and the serpent proved that that devil was a man, that the devil is on here on earth, that man of sin, that man who did his wicked in the nations, who they called Lucifer, which was a man, which is the so-called white man. So that proves to the scriptures that Esau is a so-called white man. That serpent was just a man. That serpent was referred to as serpent because of the characteristics that he has, the way that he has his spirit set up, and that's the same exact spirit that's all throughout Esau. Ye are your father the devil, and the lusts of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, because he was a father of sin. That's all he does. He goes upon his own belly. For he is a liar and the father of it, which gives it away. Sin lieth at the door, and that shall be his desire. Esau is the man of sin, the man of perdition, the man of wickedness, the wicked, whatever you want to call him. The so-called white man is going to be destroyed. And along with you 2/3 wicked Negroes and Latinos who don't want to get right. But I brought this out to you. Hopefully it gives you a little bit of edification. Hopefully I get some edification back. But I'll end it right there, and Lord willing, I'll bring out more videos. But I'll just like to end it right here and give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. I like to give double honor to the elders who are putting this word out and who brought this truth out by the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. And I'd like to give honor to the brethren out there doing this work. Lord willing, He keeps our spirits guided, and we're protected with Him, and that He brings in the rest of the 1/3 and the elect. Not to give honor to my personal elders who I learned from, man of Jacob. Keep pushing that truth out, and I guess I'll end it right there. Debt to America, debt to you 2/3 Negroes and Latinos who don't want to get right, and all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Shalom.